い感じ。あれ It is something strange.
Well, let me see if I can see it from my phone.
Now I restarted the broadcast. It should connect. Oh, now it seems now it is coming back. Hello. Please comment if you can hear me. I think it now works.
Yeah, I can hear you at least from my phone if I look at the broadcast.
Yeah. I think so. Just 3 seconds for people to come back.
Yeah. It's back.
Seems... Okay, now it is back.
We're back, guys. Can you hear us?
Let me announce the Twitter for the... Yeah. For it, that thing it is resumed. Hello people, if you can hear me, please comment again. Hutch san says he can hear me. Yeah, so... Oh!
Yay,
thank you people to come back. Let me just announce to Twitter. Thank you.
Yeah.
It seems that by the effect of Corona, people are working on internet very much, and internet connectivity is bad. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe. Please go ahead on talking on this line.
Me? Do I continue?
Yeah.
About Twitch?
Yeah, Twitch.
Okay. Since we don't know where we left off, and welcome back after the short break. I should have real broadcasting. Twitch is known to be the best platform, at least the most used platform in the Western community for streaming games, drawings, ASMR, anything. And the reason why people prefer at least English-speaking and French-speaking VTubers, why they prefer Twitch to YouTube, is because they think that it's easier to earn money with less subscribers. You need less viewers also to start generating a small income. And also it can also offer personalizing setup like YouTube, but they find it a little bit better. Especially you have the raids, which are very specific to Twitch. It's when you do a stream, when you finish a stream, you send all of your viewers to another person's stream. And basically they find it easier to interact with viewers and with other streamers when they do content. And it's especially less strict regarding the rules and regarding music royalties. That means on YouTube, for example, you can easily get demonetized if all of a sudden the YouTube hears that you're using a song that you're not supposed to be using. On Twitch, it's not the case. It's much less. That's why also they prefer. And then you have like loyalty badges. So it's also, and since a lot of English-speaking VTubers and French VTubers they use streaming for their content, that's why Twitch also appears much more often, and especially because it's less strict and easier to earn money, and people like money. So there you go.
People in Japan, people will completely move to YouTube. That might be reason. Thank you people to coming back to the broadcast. I'm not sure the reason, but the connectivity is lost. But now it is back. Thank you everybody for coming back. And CK-san, welcome back. Sound okay. Kurotara-san, easy. Nice. And Kurotara-san, I know YouTube has back nowadays. Maybe, hey, YouTube, this is most important time for you.
This is why Twitch is better.
Yeah. If it is disconnected again, I will move to Twitch.
Yeah, see, it's kind of funny that I start talking about Twitch on YouTube and YouTube just stops working all of a sudden. Huh, conspiracy theory.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you. And
Welcome
Hutch, thank you to come back to translate. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, the platform difference is, yeah, interesting. I think this is not only in Japan, Twitch is not super popular. I think there should be some reason of the difference, I believe.
Maybe people also just don't know it as much. I don't know. You tell us why you don't use Twitch.
Well, one reason might be, yeah, just like today, also on comment, Japanese VTuber like this kind of TV program style broadcast.
But you can also do streaming on Twitch. That's the thing. You can also have the comment section and everything, and you can also interact with viewers. I think it's just question of habit maybe and popularity, and also I think because maybe because Western. This is my hypothesis. Western VTubers are more used to doing streaming. Twitch is more popular, whereas Japanese VTubers, they are more used to the Kizuna Eye style of YouTube videos and lives, and they have more habit of it, and maybe that's why they continue to use YouTube rather than other service.
That might be possible. Yeah, people love Kizuna and we are following her way. Yeah, that might be a kind of brand.
Maybe.
Yeah, being virtual character on YouTube is a very, how can I say, it is a symbol in case of Japan, maybe.
And also, like, I know that some, yeah, I can go next one, but just to say, previous slide, also some English VTubers, they call themselves V-streamers now, virtual streamers, because they use stream. And this is, wait, I'm hiding stuff. So this is, so I asked people what was their, I mean, I didn't ask, but I understood from the answers. What was the physical gender in the physical world? So are you a male or a female? Physical gender, not virtual. And, well, bear in mind that here there's only 4 answers for French VTubers, so the proportion is a little bit different, but also there's only 4 answers, right? English VTubers, it's almost split in half, right? There's almost
half and half.
So the green is female. Yeah, almost half, right? Green is female, purple is. But with Japanese VTubers is what we can see. A lot of them. I mean, the high majority of them are actually men, male, of male sex in the physical world, which is very interesting because when we go on to the next slide, can you just press on
even at this moment, I think we can say Japanese guys have a strong want to be VTuber.
Clearly. And this is what I also want to understand with why.
Why?
But this is what's interesting, right? So as we saw, okay, here, so majority of people prefer to keep the same gender in the virtual world and the same sex. So for example, if they are of male sex in the physical world, they will choose to be of male sex in the virtual world. Or of male, they keep it.
Same. Yeah,
So
physical man is virtual man and the physical women, virtual women. It is simple.
In English-speaking VTubers, the high majority, some they choose different. When it's different, it's majority people of male sex in the physical world who choose a female character. They chose female characters for reasons like, for example, some of them preferred female characters because they found them visually more appealing. Also, several people were transgender, so having a virtual character of a female sex was more pleasant to them because they identify as also female, actually. And then what is interesting is that 2% had no gender, which means they were not of human-like shape.
Robot or monster or something far from
Yeah, something like that. And for them, no gender for that. And with Japanese VTubers, logically, if there's a majority male, normally same thing should happen as I mean, then maybe the same pattern should happen as English. But actually no, as we can see, so knowing that majority are male, and here we see that half have stay with the same gender identity and sex identity in the virtual world as in the physical world, actually half of them don't. By proxy, we can say that almost a lot of men who are physically male in the physical world choose to become female in the virtual world. Important, I did not have any answers from individuals who were female in the physical world who wanted to become male characters. I know they exist, none have answered my survey, same thing for here. So majority here, as we can see, like half, it's crazy that it's half. So basically half of the population who answered decided to switch completely their gender identity and sex identity in the virtual world. And majority who did, I mean all of those who decided to switch were men who decided to have a virtual female character.
For my reading, most of the Japanese VTubers are girls, 美少女 character like me. So, and physical girls should choose the virtual girl character. So, more than half of the guys are choosing the virtual girl character. Yeah. This is very super interesting. Japanese people are not super stick to the physical sexuality. It is interesting.
It's not to keep both of them. Also makes sense. It won't be in the slides here, but I will just explain it. What was different is behind the idea of identity construction. I asked people, did you create a new identity, or did you act more or less the same way as you act in the physical world? And interestingly, majority of English-speaking VTubers, they basically act the same way as they act in the physical world, which goes with the idea that they keep the same gender identity and everything because it's easier to correspond. Whereas Japanese VTubers also express the desire to become a bishoujo or an ideal female character, which we see appearing there with the 50%.
Oppositely, I think I can say like this. Yeah, English VTuber has choosing different sexuality by some reasons, but in case of Japan, choosing another gender, another sexuality is more casual. The people, people can easily switch to another sexuality. That might be a reason.
And also, for example, when I ask people why did they not actually choose a different gender, for example, women expressed that they felt like they wouldn't be able to play a male character, or they just didn't like, because girls are cute and they didn't like male characters. And also some men expressed that they wouldn't know how to play a female character, and they didn't want to have a male voice coming, for example, out of female character. Some of them also expressed those reasons, just adding in. But yeah, clearly there's a huge difference.
More comments. Kurotanaka-san says, super interesting. Yeah, this is crazy, especially Japan. What happened in Japan? あ、小春ちゃん、かわいい子になりたいのはバンコク共通。イエーイ。Everybody wanna be かわいい美少女。あ、レムちゃん、興味深い。面白いよね。結構国によって全然違うんだよね。こう、傾向が。やっぱり、アメリカとか、フランスとかだと、やっぱりこう、違うセクシャリティを選択するっていうのは結構、なんだろう。そんな簡単なことじゃないというか、勇気を持ってやることなんだけど、今だとなんか割とそこら辺、もう半々になっちゃってるから、割とカジュアルなのかなって思いました。黒田中さん、笑ったじゃないよ。これはね、学術的研究なんです。This is very serious investigation. VTuber is, as I said in the beginning, VTuber is the revolution of our how can I say? Yeah, self-identification. So this is showing the possibility of our future. Not 笑ったじゃないよ。これは very serious investigation of our future revolution of human life. Yay! Or something like that.
I know.
カプレートさん、ネコマスさん 's appearance in the first place probably had a lot to do with it. あー、ネコマスさん、いや、ネコマスさんの話ね、多分次で出てくる。Okay, let's move on to the next slide. 次で出てくると思います。 Okay.
This is a such a thing.
Oh, voice.
The
Voice.
Yeah. So majority here in purple, it's on voice and character of the same gender and sex. So for example, like me, I am female in the physical world, and I have a female for my virtual character. So that's the purple one. And as you can see, it's a high majority for English VTubers. Yeah, Japanese VTubers, not so much, right? And then the green one is voice acting. So people who train their voice to have a different voice when they play. So for example, it can be more comical, more high pitch, stuff like that, or just voice acting, you know. Now the orange one, which is 24% in JVTubers and 10% in English VTubers, it's male voice plus male gender in the physical world and a female character in the virtual world. As you can see, so basically, for example, it will be a male voice coming out of a female character, basically. Then you have in the gray color is voice changer, but voice changer when it's a female who you voice changer to get a female voice. So that's mostly used for anonymity. Like also the yellow one, which is voice changer of a male individual using to get a male voice, also for anonymity reasons or to distance oneself from their natural world. And what is interesting, what we do not to see appearing at all with English VTubers, and is only present with Japanese VTubers at 20%, is the voice changer to get from a male voice, because the person is male of male sex, to get a female voice using a voice changer and using a female character. And that's 20%, and it only appears within Japanese VTubers, as you can see, which is logical if you think that before we saw that a lot of people decided to actually have a female character while they were not of female sex. It goes with the idea that if you want to really like become a bishoujo, you would maybe also want to have a female voice that goes with it. Hence, the voice changer from male to female, which is very specific to Japanese VTubers and not at all anywhere else.
Comparing Japanese and English, this green people voice acting. Yeah, in Japan, we are calling them ryoseirui. Ryoseirui means the people who can generate both a male voice and female voice. That is ryoseirui. Yeah, but the ratio of ryoseirui is same in Japan and also in English. This is mostly same. This is green part. But the people who use voice changer is so many people. Around half of people are using voice changer. But it's big difference.
The orange is not a voice changer. The orange is a male voice coming out of female character. The voice changer is specifically, but voice changer specifically of a male individual using a voice changer to get a female voice, that's the 20%. And the 24% is basically having a male voice coming out of a female character. So the person just doesn't go through the voice changer procedure.
Oh, these three are the voice changer. I see.
Yeah. But still, it's interesting because it does not appear at all with the English VTubers compared to the Japanese VTubers, which is, by the way, very interesting. I would also like to know why. I haven't asked that, but that's something that I would like to know, is why voice changer is not that popular in English VTubers, within English VTubers and French VTubers.
Why do you think?
There used to be less.
Yeah, this is also I am very good example for this. I am using voice changer, but in Japan, voice changer is very popular. Yeah, to be away from the physical sexuality, and this is very beneficial and very interesting thing. Why English people, why French people don't use voice changer? Why?
Maybe first of all, maybe one thing is like we saw in the previous slide, they tend to keep their virtual gender the same as the physical gender. So maybe for a lot of them, using the voice changer wasn't really interesting. Also, some of them said that since they do a lot of streaming, they feel that and long hours of streaming, like 3 hours non-stop, they feel like voice changer makes it a little bit difficult for people to hear well or to understand for a long time. And it just seems that it's not that popular. It's just not something that they opt to, because either they prefer like to do voice acting, as we can see, but also what is interesting, those who did voice acting for their YouTube videos often said that they didn't do that for their streams because voice acting for 3 hours was a little bit tiresome.
So your hypothesis is this is
It's
not
just not
the majority of the voice changer, but the difference is coming from the demand to be different sexuality.
Yeah, I think also.
it
And
is.
and also very important is the idea of, because majority of English VTubers and French VTubers decide to keep the same identity as they are in the physical world, or at least very close to their identity as of how they're in the physical world, in the virtual one. And I think that's why they don't use a voice changer, because it will be weird. It will break the continuity. Whereas Japanese VTubers, they want it to be very different. They want it to be of a different gender completely. They want it to have like a clear cut with the physical identity, and hence using a voice changer makes sense. I think it's also because of that. It's how they construct their identity, basically. Yeah.
There is so needs to be free from the physical sexuality. That might be a reason for both character, voice,
Yeah.
everything. There's many comments, thank you. CK-san, thank you for the comment. Did you get any people that use text-to-speech, such as NoCat? Text-to-speech is not included to this. I mean, it included in voice changer. Text to read the
Yeah,
voice droid generate the sound voice.
I know two VTubers who do that in the English community, but they haven't answered my survey. Please answer. And that doesn't appear. And a good question. I will go and ask some people if they use that. But my hypothesis
actually is, in the beginning, before using voice changer, I was using text to speech. Text to speech is much better to generate kawaii voice. Much better. Because that is generating the voice actor's voice. But it takes long generation time. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, or something like that. That time gap doesn't allow for us to communicate with each other just like this. So that is the reason why I am using voice changer. But so even in Japan, text to speech is very less actually. Not so many people are using it. And Rem-chan, thank you for the comment. 日本の自分を変えても可愛いを求める強い動機はどのような背景から来ているのか。強い興味が高まっています。Why Japanese people strongly want to be kawaii being, even changing their sexuality? She strongly know why the demand is coming.
That's a good question. That's what I was planning on researching after all of this. The data.
Let's talk in the later slide. Well, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking my hypothesis is that maybe because of the strict gender roles of how men, again in brackets, should behave in a society, maybe because of that. Also, I think the cultural and historical weight and importance of Bishoujo culture and of shoujo
Japan is very old country, and as you say, it has a very strong how can I say, restriction of the gender role in the society, especially Japanese guys, how can I say, sometimes forced to earn a lot of money to be safe, their families. So, some Japanese guys strongly want to be free from that kind of situation. That might be reason. I also have some chance to be Europe, United States, or the other countries, but people are more free, I think. At least
They're
from
more free. Yeah, I think.
society. But
Yeah, I think that's
that
also
kind
why.
of Japanese restriction finally creates this kind of freedom world consisted by the kawaii characters. It is interesting. The restriction provides the innovation sometimes.
And I think also like the culture of like kawaii and bishoujo is so much more like present. And here we come to the conclusion. Remember when in the beginning I said community or so in the beginning I said community or individual, right? That was my framework, research framework. What does it mean? What does it change the fact that English VTubers and French VTubers are more centered to create their identity based on the community? Basically, it generates more family-like relations. Remember the idea of being together. They often collaborate together. They create projects together. They talk on Twitch. For example, we have on Discord groups for English VTubers, French VTubers, and we all connect together and talk together. It generates that, the idea of community building interaction. And also all of them, they're very straightforward, distant from one another, majority, right? Compared to Japanese VTubers who create more on the individual level, means that they act more also as idols, like we said before, right? The idea of being an idol and having fans and interacting like that instead of interacting with other VTubers in a more horizontal manner. And that's what generates that, how they construct it. And also, like we said, we haven't mentioned it before, but the whole notion also of Babiniko becoming a virtual Bishoujo incarnation is also very specific to Japan. And the fact of using a Bishoujo character, which also goes with this idea of an individual need to express oneself differently from restrictions of the society in the daily lives. Whereas, and also the need of be like free and completely different from what you can be in the physical world, and also to be an idol.
So, word idol. This is very interesting difference from Japan and the other countries. Yeah. In case of Japan, historically, there are so many small idols, and there is a culture to be fan for that kind of small idols. That might be a source of this new culture, and as you said, I think this is coming from the motivation. Japanese people, I think, we want to be special being, like Bishoujo. That is idol. But, for the other countries, it is no.
Me too. It's more good.
Yeah. Being VTuber is more like tool. Yeah, it's a tool of a broadcast. It is very big difference. So as a result, the relationship between VTuber and fan is totally different. Yeah. In English, they become friends, and in case of Japan, we can become, Bishoujo and fans or something like that. Yeah. Restricted to Japanese people finally result in want to be Bishoujo idol. The restriction finally becomes the Bishoujo animation to be real life. This is very interesting. Thank you for comments. Let me read. Well, cool. So many comments is coming. Thank you very much.
Oh wow.
El-chan, thank you for singing. Good evening. And Koharu-chan is my friend. She is very kawaii virtual 美少女. And yeah, being kawaii means being a real myself for her. It is interesting. Rather than being physical body, being virtual body is her real life. It is interesting. Thank you. And Love-san, cute voice and cute. Yeah, people love cute voice. Yeah, that's true. And gender role, Nem-chan, thank you for the comment. Love-san, other country maybe love something fun like memorable. It might be interesting. Yeah, as you say, like for example, Mexico. Yeah, this should be more different in the case of the other countries.
Yeah, I'm also I'm opening my survey also to Spanish-speaking VTubers. I have some answers, and also I want to do also like Korea and China, where I know there's a lot of VTubers, to see the really differences and similarities, and to see if there's actually a pattern of something which is related to like societal norms and everything. Because so far I only have 3 categories, and it's not enough really to, you know, to make.
Oh, thank you, Kapuruto-san. This is interesting comment. In Japan, they used to play onnagata for a long time. In Japan, in Edo period, 300 years ago, there is a entertainment. The physical guy acts the bishoujo, and that is a kind of a TV program in the Edo period. Kabuki, yes.
In Kabuki plays,
And in Kabuki, that is the most major style of playing. And physical women is prohibited to be an actor. So,
Yep.
from the reason, all the bishoujo is acted by physical men. It is interesting.
And I think that's all. I think that's also maybe why currently there are more people who prefer bishoujo characters, because there's already a history of men acting like in kabuki plays or others of playing female characters. It's more, let's say, it's part of the culture in a way, which is different from other countries. And you also, I forgot the name, you also have this female group who play also all the female and male roles. I forgot the name of it. Somebody remembers, tell me. You know, like how in Kabuki it's all men and some play female. You also have this group, a theater group, and it's all female, and they play also sometimes male characters. And I forgot the name of it. In Japan, I don't remember.
Not Kabuki? Or Ninja Jewelry?
It's really just theater.
Or, no?
No. It's really like it's really like a theater play, and it's only women who play, and they play sometimes male roles and female roles.
The act today, right? I cannot also remember.
It's like started in the 50s.
Takarazuka.
Yes, that's.
Takarazuka, ne?
Well, typically.
Yeah, in Takarazuka, girls play everything. Yeah. Yeah, in Japan, that kind of sexuality switching is very natural, so that might be reason.
I think, maybe that's why there's more like also man shoujo characters in Japan compared to the West, where you have more of a habit of sticking with your gender throughout your life. And so
みんな宝塚出てた。ありがとう、宝塚だよね。ちょっと、パッと出てこなかった。宝塚。エルちゃん、英語堪能ありがとう。Yeah, I'm doing my best speaking English. Thank you. And Love さん、this investigation is super interesting. He said, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Love さん, you know 宝塚? You know everything about Japanese culture. It is great. Yeah. Like this. Yeah, this is very interesting part. But how do you think this is a very special culture at this moment? But
good question. So I think there might be more of a habit. I think maybe slowly the idol aspect might start crawling in the West, maybe. And also, I feel like the new VTubers that I see, the newborn VTubers that I see since the last couple of weeks, I feel like most of them try to create like backstories and really like fictional characters. And I feel like I see more also slowly more men using female characters. Not exactly like Bishoujo style, slowly. And I think might be also the evolution.
Do you know this word?
You do?
Sorry.
Go on.
CGDCT. In some foreign subculture scene, recently, sometimes this word is
I don't
used.
know about it.
CGDCT. You don't know? Someone knows? This is meaning
like,
some genre of Japanese animation. Hint is she is cute. CGDCT.
Cute.
The answer is
Uh,
cute girl doing cute things. For example, Kemono Friends, Lucky Star, KO,
Yeah.
or in the latest Japanese animation trend, only Bichoujo kawaii cute girl character only appears in the screen, and no guys are there, and the cute people are doing the cute thing. That is the
Cute things.
content. This is the latest trend of the Japanese animation scene in this couple of years. This might be one possible reason. Yeah, in
Explanation.
the animation world, it is not realistic. There is only cute girls. But
True.
we are always seeing Japanese animation, so that is already preset to my brain. Yeah, to see the
Yeah.
that kind
Yeah,
of
true.
unnatural world consisted only by cute Bishoujo characters.
Those characters.
That is the background. But recently, this word CGDCT is also started to be used in the foreign countries, in United States and the UK.
Oh.
So I
Ooh, I
think
have
this
to
trend
research that.
this trend might be changed. When I see this word, I'm very surprised because the European people, I thought European people doesn't like this kind of animation. People
Oh, I
like
think they like
Dragon
it. I
Ball
think they like it.
or something. I know you like it, but it is not majority.
I-
But recently it is
But
a
I think
little changing.
Yeah, I think it's changing in recent years.
Hmm.
People from Western
So-
community, tell us if you know about it, if you like it. What are your thoughts on this? Tell us on Twitter or in the comment section. I didn't know about it.
Oh, CQ-san says that is his one of favorite genre. CGDCT. Cute girls doing cute things. There is
Oh, I'm gonna
no
look at
big
it.
story. Cute girl
Like us
just
today.
doing the cute thing, just like us today. That becomes content. That is the background of and the source of this Japanese culture. And becoming this world means even in the other world, that might be finally resulting in this Bishoujo. Even in the other countries.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Maybe in the future.
Yes. Cat girls will rule the world. But yeah, that was definitely. I think I feel like there's more like people who have cute characters. Oh, look, I have a tween.
People, if you have, basically this is everything at this moment in regards to her paper. But if you have any question, please reach me.
Yay!
And
Or you can also like
yeah.
contact us.
By the description of the YouTube, the time is already lost, but may I continue a little bit? The time allows for you, Mila?
Yeah, sure. Perfect.
I have another topic related to the sexuality section. Mila said, so I strongly want to talk about that. This is not about the YouTuber. Yeah, this is not about YouTuber, but the VR SNS users, they are not broadcasting, but they are commonly becoming the virtual character in the virtual SNS. And this is very interesting. The question is, with your virtual friend, virtual lover, what did you do? What did you do? What did you do means some sexual relationship? And this 60% of people nothing, or they reached to kiss with the virtual girlfriend or virtual boyfriend. Yeah, red and yellow resulting in the, how can I say, some kind of virtual sex. They created a sexual relationship in the virtual world. Yeah, and the green is they become a sexual relationship in the real world. Yeah, even though they are in the beginning they are virtual friend or virtual lovers. Yeah, so many Japanese people result in the real sexual relationship in Japan. This is very interesting, I think.
I think it's very interesting to see how many people actually continue afterwards in the real world. There's it's the new Tinder, that's what I'm saying.
How do you think if we do the same survey in English or French? No one knows. But I think this green is not something like this. It is much more less. This is because I think Japanese virtual lovers created a very emotional relationship in the virtual world. That's why I resulted in this kind of situation, I think. And the next one
will be interesting.
Next one is also very interesting. Yeah. In the last question, if you say you reached to the real sexual relationship in the real life, is your partner same gender as you or another gender? The other gender. Yeah. And 80% of the people, yeah, answered with same sexuality.
Gender.
Yeah, they become lovers in the virtual world, and they met in the real world, and finally resulting in the special relationship, even if they have same sexuality. I think this is showing that
Same gender.
Yeah. Sometimes emotional connection breaks the physical gap. This is very interesting. Can you imagine this situation, Mila?
Yeah, it's. I was really surprised when you showed me the slides. But it also shows how important emotional connection is, and sometimes we forget about that in the physical world, and we're only attracted to somebody sometimes physically. Whereas in the virtual world, you can actually create like this emotional connection, which actually helps you to break through some barriers that can actually happen in like the physical world. And I think that's very specific to VR and like virtual worlds, and I think it's great. Although I was really like surprised, but in a good way when I saw that. I was like, oh wow.
This is even for me.
I'm new to all of this.
Unbelievable. Yeah, CK-san.
It is.
There
Right.
have always been stories about lovers. Virtual relationships can become more personal. Yeah, in the virtual world, yeah, it is something like we are communicating with the soul body. So yeah, we can sometimes create a very emotional relationship.
Personal connections, yeah.
And love yeah, virtual relationship, even in real life. Yeah, it is not game. And have a virtual relationship and writing there, but in real life not. Sometimes, yeah, it breaks the real sexual identity in the real world. It has a super strong impact. Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
the next...
the physical body.
Physical body, yes. And the next one. Yeah,
Oh, wait.
this is the question from me to Japanese virtual SNS users. If you be the virtual sexual relationship with virtual partner, what is your role in the virtual sexual relationship? Blue is guy and red is girls. And yeah, this is half and half. This is not super strange, but very interesting is yellow. They doesn't care the role of sexuality. Yeah, this is their relationship is not the sexual relationship in the real world anymore. They are sometimes free from that kind of sexual self-recognition. This is very interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy that it's half, right? It's very surprising.
Yeah. And from this, I estimated the combination of the virtual couples. Blue is the normal couple, virtual guy and virtual girl, and red is red couple, virtual girl and virtual girl. And this yellow doesn't care the sexuality anymore. This is a super interesting result we did for Japanese VR SNS users. This is the ratio.
It's really interesting.
In Japan, in Edo period, some Japanese fighter show have the relationship with the boys because in the battle place there is no girl. So historically in Japan there is some culture to become the sexual relationship with the physical same sexuality.
Partner, yeah.
Yeah, that might be reason. Yeah, I haven't heard the same kind of story in the case of Europe. So it is, I think, coming from history, I believe.
And also, like, historically, the separation of gender roles and of the whole shtick of women staying at home and men working, it comes from the West. It's from when Western people came to Japan that it began. The gender separation actually happened. Before that, this didn't exist. So, and but yeah, do you think with more people spending time on VRChat and also like basically finding their lovers, not judging by their physical gender, do you think that will change in the future and more people in the real world also will stop putting that much importance on the physical gender and will be more interested in emotional? Do you think this will become more also in the physical world or not?
I personally think so. Yeah, now we are in the edge to be free from that kind of sexual restrictions.
Barriers?
I think this is my super high level hypothesis is previously our sexual relationship is like this. Between guy and girls, yeah, that is very fixed communication and one-to-one communication, and there is a clear role definition between guy and girls. And in the case of virtual world, this is just my hypothesis, but yeah, this is not always one-to-one relationship. And overall, yeah, it is. And there is no fixed gender role. So this is my high-level image of virtual sexual relationship in the future. Now we are in the middle between this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I like this. I like this. I want to go to this world.
I personally think this kind of revolution is occurring in the deep side of the VR SNS. That might be a possibility. And I think same thing is occurring even in the case of English user and French user, but this is your part. Please investigate. I know the difference.
I will.
Same thing. Can we say the same thing for the other countries or not? This is only the investigation for Japan, so.
So guys, new research
Mm.
about sexuality and sexual relationships in VR. Not VR chat, but VR. Next research. Please
Excellent
cooperate and
research.
help us. And please answer. Please answer. It helps a lot. It helps a lot.
Thank you. Basically, this is everything we can show you today. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mila, to let us know the very interesting thought. Oh, thank you for comments. Saki-chan, thank you. She said it is very interesting investigation. And CK-san, I guess virtual also makes it easier to have relationship where you can fully ignore biological sex. Yeah. Maybe this kind of revolution is actually occurring in the very deeper side of VR SNS and VR in the edge. But thinking back, when I think back, this kind of relationship is very strange. Yeah. Our soul should not have that kind of restriction. So, by getting the virtual body, I think we are going to be free from that kind of unneeded restriction. Maybe.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope more and more that will happen more and more.
Yeah.
It's also just like better.
And CK-san, very interesting. Thank you. Thanks for answering all questions and sharing. Oh, cool.
Oh, thank you for your questions.
Yeah, now we have
And
already
thank you for translating.
answered. Yeah, everything. Thank you, everybody. If you have much more question or something, you can always speak to her
Ask
or me in Japanese or in English to Mila. Or in Japanese for Mila. ボス OK。
まあちょっと日本語わかるんですけど。
上手。すごい上手。Mila, what actually is the closing comment today? How did you feel when you become VTuber and broadcasting to Japanese people?
I think it's, I mean, like, I'm so happy that you let me come here and on your channel and also explain my research. So thank you for that. And also, like, I'm really happy that actually by becoming virtual, I'm able to communicate with people from all around the world, and we can all share our different ideas and how our identities and interact together in this virtual space. And I feel like I'm connected to so much more people than in the real world, you know, in the physical world. And for that, I think it's virtual reality is the best when everything works. Also, I kind of felt like I felt a little bit like a grandma when I started all of this because everything was new and I was just lost and I couldn't think work. But now it's better. So yeah, thanks for everybody, to everybody who answered, to everybody who participated. And it's still, I'm continuing the research, so please cooperate. And think.
One more question is coming, Mila. One more question actually is, what is your favorite food? From El-chan. Thank you for question.
Ooh. From Japan, favorite food? Ooh, difficult.
Not only in Japan. Anything.
Uni.
Anything.
Uni が大好き。
Uni, 本当に
ウニ
好きなの？
が大好き。
Uni, what do you say?
Daisuke.
Uni in English. Uni. I love!
Sea urchin.
Ah, sea urchin! You love uni?
Yeah.
Ah,
I love it. It's my favorite food.
Even in Switzerland,
We have it
can
in
you
Switzerland.
eat?
Yeah.
There's no sea,
Yeah, you can
no possibility, right?
They import it. They import it during specific periods of time. It's not as good as in Japan, but it's good. So yeah, I'd say uni,
Uni!
yakitori,
Uni
ramen,
yakitori!
oden. オーデンが大好き、もう大好き。納豆。
Then,
What else?
once,
Pizza.
pizza. Then, once Corona is finished,
I
come
love
to
food.
Japan. Yeah, to eat
Yes, I will.
yeah,
I will.
uni in the best
All
place.
uni. I will eat all the uni.
Uni!
Be careful. Once I'm in Japan, there will be no more uni.
Oh my god.
I'm a serial uni
Oh
eater.
my god. Uni! I haven't seen that kind of question. Uni! I love uni! Then you must
Uni is the world.
describe your next tattoo. Uni in Japanese.
Uni, yeah.
Uni.
Like here, like uni.
Uni.
Uni
Yeah,
is the
let's
world.
eat uni
I need to
together.
get a T-shirt that says uni.
Uni. Yeah. In the next your t-shirt. Yeah, let's describe uni. And yeah, this is very
Oh,
interesting.
uni and rokcha.
Broadcast, I believe, with you. Mila?
Oh, thank you. It was really
Thank
fun
you.
with you too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Let's have another chance. Yeah.
Yes,
If we come up
for
with
sure.
idea. But why don't we
Yes.
talk in Japanese in the next time? Fully in Japanese.
はい。はい。
Japanese.
はい。頑張ります。
頑張ります。Okay. Then in the next time, we will talk about the next session of Mila's investigation in Japanese. He is always going to the Japanese lessons, so it's always improving.
まあ多分次はアイドルの文化の影響
アイドルの文化の影響を探したい。
についてちょっと喧嘩。
やろう。
これ多分。
Or if you have some guests, if you want to have some guests, some Japanese VTuber to be here, I can bring anybody.
Oh yes.
Is there any idea?
Good question.
Do we bring Karin here?
Yeah, I was gonna say Karin. I was gonna say. Yeah.
I
I read her. Oh, by the way, that's going to be the next subject because we decided to team up, and I am going to try to translate one of her works because she has a very interesting feminist perspective on AV industry. Yeah.
Karin is Japanese adult video VTuber, and yeah, she have a lot of knowledge about that kind of virtual sexuality things. So yeah. Or
And-
you can
and I'm gonna-
English VTuber or French VTuber to be here.
Yeah.
I want to talk
sure.
more about the world of VTuber with foreign VTubers. That might also
But
be an
yeah.
option.
I'll definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be nice. It would be nice to have like a round table with different people from different countries interacting and saying their opinions. Also, that would be great.
Oh, Elu-chan, thank you.
No,
Elu-chan loves you. We come to be love you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Elu-chan, you know her on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should meet
Okay.
soon in VR chat. まあ日本語でちょっと話しましょう。Yeah, this is
Yeah,
my
and this one.
QR code for my
Before closing,
survey.
yeah, announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's English, French,
This is
Japanese,
only for
Spanish. Now
Is
Spanish.
it only for VTuber?
It's only, yeah, I imported only for VTubers. I do my survey only on VTubers. I will
If
do
you have
another
a
one
virtual
with
body
friends.
and if you are broadcasting, please join this survey of Mila. It
Exactly.
finally resulted in
Yeah.
her survey. An article.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's share to the world
Yeah.
about VTubers.
We strongly want to do an open discussion with you, so please give us any kind of opinion and please give me answer to this questionnaire. I'm always waiting for you. And Mila, if you create the next article or something, please again let me review. I strongly want to be include your
Oh yes, of course.
investigation. And okay,
For sure.
this is everything today. Thank you very
Thank
much
you for being with us.
for world people to come, and very sorry to the disconnection of YouTube in the profile. But yeah, thanks to you, this is super nice discussion today, and this is interesting. Thank you very much. Bye bye, and see you in the
Thank
next
you,
time.
everybody.
バイバイ。また見てね。
Bye.
And close.
今はミニ食べた。